All right, so Grand Rising or Grand Evening is Shay Seeking or Shalonda for those of you who know me personally. And again, we're gonna, because I've had some things occur, right? And throughout my journey, especially the past couple of months, just mysterious things that happen. And then today, I don't know, for the past couple of days, 3, 4 days, I've been kind of just in a zone. I've been kind of just zoned out, kind of there, but not. And again, I think it might be because of, I don't know, some issues or just some feelings that I had had after I had posted, I think the video that I put up, a couple of videos that I put up on my channel, within the, like I said, the past couple of days. And there's almost like a shift in energy, right? When it happens, I can tell, and I may put the video up or take it down at certain times a day. It just, I don't know. I just will go back and forth with it. So, excuse me, because it's like the energy is off. And so, it's just like almost a battle here because like, when we're talking about like all the things that I've gone through in this journey, especially that I feel like I've been going on for the past couple of months, as if there was something that I was being called to do, a position, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of way that I'm supposed to be taking a very prominent position in, you know, in what we could call maybe like the kingdom, right? So again, I feel like I'm one that is waiting, for what they would say will be that new something. I can sense that something is shifting and something is going to be happening here on this plane, you know, um, and just, it has me looking at things a little bit more differently over the past couple of, like the past week or so when it comes to so-called politics and things like that. I just been kind of like having my eye open on the headlines and things like that too. So I don't know. Today I just kind of had a feeling, and I had made a big mess in my sunroom, making jewelry and stuff like that. And so I started to clean it up, and then I realized that there was this little book that I have. It's called the Words of Our Lord. And the other day I think I took it off of my TV stand and I brought it out there, but I didn't really read through it. And then I saw that this book was the last book it was underneath the table. So I picked it up and I kind of just, we just had like a little small, game night. And so, oh, again, I like to tell you guys these stories just, so you can kind of see where I'm coming from and how I'm showing that like different things, signs and stuff like that are we paying attention to or do we hear? Even when it's talking about different connections and things that we're supposed to be making with individuals, and how there can be things that come in and bring negative energy and confusion. But then if you think about it, there is not supposed to be any confusion, that I guess God, I don't know if it says the Lord or God in that scripture, is not the author of confusion. So again, like I told you guys, dealing with messengers and things like that and stuff like that, it's just like sometimes you don't know which. Again, so I've been listening for the past couple of days, and it's just getting harder. Like I said, it seems like to discern, right? Because it's like what they say, like, I don't like using the word devil, but like in a sense, it seems like that negative energy can be 2 steps ahead, right? And then almost like even in real time, getting uh, downloads and messages and stuff like that. And you know, sometimes I think like how they have the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other, but like in a sense, it's just like, man, if they both sound the same, sometimes it's just like, man, it's harder to discern. So again, what I do is I become stagnant, and I just quiet down even more, and I shut down even more, and I just shut everything out and try to go within. And so, I don't know. I'll just point out a couple of things here. because we're going to read from that book, but I'm also just want to go ahead and read Proverbs 28, because like, okay, there's a park, right? Let me see. Hold on one second. Okay. So I have been reading through this book, and then it's talking about the reward of Christ's followers, and then I'm going to go ahead and go into the raising of Lazarus, right? So so this image right here is from a park, right? So like I had run into some information a while back about Janice, and there's some disturbing images of someone being burned and stuff, like I said at the I think I mentioned this in another video, a woman being burned in a tree. And it's just so funny that this actual park right here has burned trees and, things like this. And I don't know. It's just so much. And so like, sometimes it's like too much information, but again, like I'm reading here, to be bold as a lion, right? Okay. And so reading this book made me think about this image that I had taken at this park one day, because I really think that this is a place. I mean, we'll go to it later, but let's just keep this in mind, because going into the text about Lazarus brought me to thinking about the rocky cliff. So I go ahead and pull this up. And then after that, it made me think about Proverbs 28, because in that park, there's a lot of people that go through the park. And a lot of times, in the area, they have this thing where people paint rocks. They put messages or they paint rocks. And matter of fact, last time I was there at the park, I saw a lady and her daughter or her son putting rocks in hiding places. And they'll hide these rocks and they'll have stuff on it, scripture. Sometimes they'll have like pictures and stuff like that. And I guess they want you to post it on this Facebook page or whatever. That you found this rock. Sometimes they leave them in our area. They'll leave them at McDonald's in the drive-through window on the ledge, things like that. And kids like to find them or whatever. So one day I was walking through there and I had found a rock and it had Proverbs 28. So I'm like, okay, at that time I was going through something, and, I felt like I was going to and fro. And I was wondering, I just was feeling some kind of way. But then it was just something like, that's not the way, I had to go into scripture and see when I was acting is that way. It's kind of like, how you feel like you're being led away from something to another purpose, right? Okay. But at that time, I'm like, really? But for me, so, it's just like, what would I need, And so at that time, I just kind of like was in a very, I don't know, it was just a lot coming on to me spiritually and everything, and so I kept that in mind. I kept that. Actually, I think I actually brought the rock home, but then I had a funny feeling about it, because I brought some other rocks or something back home, and then I had found out about when it came to something about that story, or I had read something else, because sometimes I just, like I said, I'll go to something, I don't even know why I'm reading it, but it said something about somebody had taken some rocks or something, and that's not a good idea. I won't use the word they use, but, and so on. And so I took the stuff back, right? Put it back into place. Okay. And I'm just saying all this stuff to share with you guys these mysterious things. And so, sometimes I don't know if the message that I'm reading is for me. I get bits and pieces before I even go into this with you guys. But there's so much craftiness going on, but there's also an energy there that is there to help. But I think the messages sometimes get tangled. And so, I go with what I feel. Then I have to go with what's in my heart, what's in my gut, what is source telling me, right? And so, I just wanted to show that to you guys real quick, but let's go ahead and read 28, because it was on my mind and I really couldn't figure it out. And I'm feeling like I'm feeling that energy again, that I need to know what we're talking about in Proverbs 28. Okay. And so again, I do feel like there's this whole energy about who is the Christ, who is the Son of Man, who is this. Are there going to be crafty people that are going to try to place someone in a certain place that is supposed to be belonging to someone else? Like I feel like there's a lot of crafty things, just like how we're looking at the sun, and we're in etymology, and we realize that it means descendant. Okay, so again, in this world, of course, they're not going to want to admit that, again, a lord or lordess, that we could be talking about feminine, masculine, or even androgynous, energy, right? We'll just say it like that. We'll just say energy. And again, I'm not that person that like to tell nobody what God or source told me to tell you. I share my story with you guys. And again, those who have eyes to see will see, and ears to hear will hear. But I have witnessed wonders. Now we know that there's also going to be deceitful energies here that will be able to do these wonders as well, but again, to each his own. I'm just speaking the best I can my story. I'm vlogging or sharing with you guys my experiences. So again, we're going to go ahead and go into Proverbs 28. And again, I felt like there was an urgency, like looking back on things that I've come across today. I felt like there was somewhat of an urgency at some point in time to speak. But then again, sometimes I get myself in trouble because I get that urge or that energy, but it may as well be a tempting or tempest type of spirit that's trying to get me to go into something that may not benefit me, or may, again, this is just how I feel, right? So again, a lot of these women in the Bible were dealing with, Yeshua or Yeshaya, or wherever you want to, was dealing with different types of energies as well. So again, would those in Christ consciousness today be dealing with those same things? Okay. So, and I also feel like there's an energy around that wants me to feel some kind of way about delivering this message, especially when we're talking about like day and night and stumbling at night. I was even reading something about Roman something earlier, and how something about certain times of day when you can deliver messages and you couldn't speak about religion and all these other things and whatnot. So, it's just, I don't know. I think there's a lot of shifty things going on the plane, period. Okay. So again, we're going to go ahead into Proverbs 28, and it says, the wicked run away when no one is chasing them, but the godly are bold as lions. When there is moral rot within a nation, its government topples easy. But wise and knowledgeable leaders bring stability. A poor person who oppresses the poor is like a pounding rain that destroys the crop. To reject the law is to praise the wicked. To obey the law is to fight them. Now, again, right here, I don't know if we're talking about the law of God or the laws of this world. So take that into account, because I don't really remember anywhere in the biblical text where it says that we should honor the laws of the world or man, but I could totally be, mistaken. But I mean, I know that the Bible speaks a lot about the laws of the Lord or God or Elohim. Okay, source, whatnot. Okay. Evil people do not understand justice. Well, damn. Ain't that word in the Bible? Okay. Anyway. They'll have you thinking everything is a sin. And then therefore you'll be, looking at yourself like you can't never get it right. So yeah, evil people do not understand justice. So I'm just wondering who's running the world at this point in time. But those who follow the Lord understand completely. Better to be poor and honest than to be dishonest and rich. Young people who obey the law are wise. Those with wild friends bring shame to their parents. And again, I think that this is also talking about, like, at this time, pairing of nations with, and it's also making me just think, like I said, about like the youth, even those who are young in a way, that we would be saying, like, I don't know, like those that are just joining into the, I don't know. I'm just seeing something different here when we're talking about young people. Because really, if we're talking about really young children, I mean, what does it really mean if they're obeying the law or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, young children don't know the law. But I think that we're talking about, like, maybe priestly laws or rules or, excuse me, something like that, because those who are new to the body or something like that. Like, okay, that's probably the best way in layman's term that I can explain it. And then again, those with wild friends bring shame to their parents. So again, if you're, again, and this is also making me think about, just like, even, parents like a lord or overseer or a master or something like that. But then also, you know, but then I think about Christ in this moment, and how they would have thought he was maybe unruly or something. So yeah, to bring shame to their parents. So again, I think so. Like, if we're being paired with earthly masters at this time or something like that, and then you have them being, oh, it was something I was just reading. I was talking about that, like how things will be ruled. Someone will be over someone over some. It's kind of like the pyramid thing, whatever. Okay, so it's just like, if you do things against the grain, I guess, a little bit, maybe, right? Then that would maybe, I guess, depending on how far you go, that would be considered unruly. And would bring shame to your earthly masters. Okay. Maybe even those of us that may be spreading certain news that may not be favorable for certain groups and things like that. I mean, I'm just trying to correlate it with something that's going on today so we can kind of see. Okay. So it says, excuse me, because to think that the company that you keep, especially even on social media, and to think that things are not being monitored and whatever at this point in time for those reasons, right? Heavenly reasons and other reasons. That's the way it is. So it says income from charging high interest rates. Okay, will bring to their parents. And it says income from charging high interest rates will end up in the pockets of someone who is kind to the poor. God detests the prayers of a person who ignores the law. Okay. So again, are we talking the God of this world, or again, because I can't speak. So whatever is in me and been bestowed upon me, can't speak this without speaking this to you. Like that's what I'm saying. Past, present, future. In that way, this is the way it is to me, with the information that I have taken in over time and what is poured into my heart right now to speak it this way. And I can't let anything get in the way of that. income from charging high interest rates will end up in the pockets of someone who is kind to the poor. God detests the prayers of a person who ignores the law. You know, it's funny because I'm just thinking of like a lot about dues right now. Maybe even dues that we don't even recognize and realize, you know, need to be paid in different ways too, in these times, you know. You know, a soul sibling of mine brought that up, I think, either today or yesterday. And I was just thinking, like, that's a funny way to look at it. So it says, those who lead good people along an evil path will fall into their own trap. Okay. So again, that's kind of like what I feel like now, because I feel like there's been just like a lot of energy being geared towards me, you know, and it's just whatever, for whatever reason, you know, and it's kind of like one of those reasons why I had to wait, hold on, stop everything and just go within for a couple of days because, you know, and again, everything slowed down so much. I thought that I did, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's funny how just even reading this about Lazarus in the 4 days, how during that time, you know, I felt a sense of something. Something was trying to get my attention. And even today, I felt like, you know, is everybody all right? See, when it comes to my guides and, you know, and I just been quiet too because I was worried. But then I had to realize that also some of this stuff, you know, maybe those people aren't so worried about me. And maybe, again, they may be more aware of things than me and they may be tripping me up in something. But again, I guess whatever is going to happen is going to happen. You know, I just feel a snare, you know, but that's just maybe something in me, but it may be what it might be. And so again, I'm just being open with you guys about how I feel because this journey is a rare journey. And my purpose is a rare or some type of purpose. And I know that things and obstacles and things are going to get in the way. And like I said, sometimes that causes me because I want to make sure I do the right thing and that I'm thinking of people that also messengers and things like that. I'm thinking of them as well. You know, and I know I should, you know, but it does it, you know, because again, it just does. So I don't know, without going too far. So it says, those who lead good people along an evil path will fall into their own trap, but the honest will inherit good things. Rich people may think that they are wise, but a poor person with discernment can see right through them. When the godly, well, that's kind of like what we're just talking about here, right? And sometimes it can get hard. It can, you know, especially with technology playing around and with algorithms and things like that playing around, you know, whatever we're taking in when we're on these things all day, it kind of can trigger little things into you, even subconsciously, that you may not even be aware of. Some of the stuff is like on site, like you, you know, you see it and it's just like, you know, it's, and I mean, especially, I don't know, when it comes to my timeline. So it says, when the godly succeed, everyone is glad. When the wicked take charge, people go into hiding. People who conceal their sins will not prosper, but they confess and turn from them. They will receive mercy. Blessed are those who fear to do wrong. Oh, wow. But also, you know, also blessed, you know, I would do etymology on that term too. I'm really careful about using that because it also has something to do with smearing with blood. And we don't want that. You see? Okay, so who fear to do wrong, but the stubborn are headed for serious trouble. Okay. So again, and I wonder sometimes, can that come off, you know, trying to make the right decision or do the right thing? Can that sometimes come off as being, you know, someone feeling as that though that is stubbornness, you know, especially with, again, me being a tourist. You know, sometimes I wonder that, but again, I'm just very calculated with I don't like to, like I've noticed that too, that like there's a sense of urgency sometimes when it comes to the message. Like Elohim or even certain urges I feel come from messengers, and but again, like I said, whenever something is going between someone to Elohim, you never really know. And from reading the text, that's just how I see it, especially in the book of Enoch and when it comes to the watchers and stuff like that. Like I see something totally different. I see mischief there. See, because I've lived through certain things, and and I see how these things could have occurred. And I've seen it. It's almost like I've been given a very amazing gift. And and I'm not even trying to be like, oh, just this, you know what I'm saying? I just would, sometimes I just don't feel like I want to share that, but, I kind of try to let y'all in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So you could kind of see where I'm coming from. Um, so, but when it comes to this word, I'm not stubborn. So if anything, when it comes to the word, I'm quick to get like a freestyle out without even really, you know what I'm saying, doing that much research. And so again, just holding back sometimes and not being so quick to, but sometimes I think that there's a time to speak and there's a time to be silent. There's a time to be quick and a time to move slow. You know what I'm saying? I've been sitting for a couple of days. So again, I felt like that energy of, learn how to chill. But at the same time, after sitting for all those days and then coming on this the way I did, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no energy coming in that's trying to get me not to do something because of something else, to throw an obstacle, right? Right? So again, I'm just, that's where we're going with it. Because we also dealing with, you're going to always be dealing with the ancestors. I know a lot of Christians don't like to hear that, but again, that's just what it is. So it's kind of, because it can kind of be like a battle going, especially when you're a seer or someone that's in tune in a different way. Okay. And I hate using that word because there you go with the whole witch hunt type of thing. I've seen that in the headlines lately too. Right. When it comes to politics, I've been seeing them using that a lot lately. It just seemed like somebody's about to be out for blood soon. You know what I'm saying? And again, there are some of us that are on a list, and that list, again, is to watch. I won't say nothing else, but to watch closely. Okay. Okay. So again, blessed. Okay. Okay. Or be blessed. Are those who fear to do wrong, but the stubborn are headed for serious trouble. A wicked ruler is as dangerous to the poor as a roaring lion or an attacking bear. Wow. But again, like, oh, see, and this is where I'm going. But this is in me. So it's just going to have to be what it is. A wicked ruler. So again, whether you know it or not, at this point in time, I think that there are overseers in a way, right? Spiritual overseers on this plane right now. Okay. And some of them are out for your interests, and some of them are not. Okay. And I believe I've come across both. We're just keeping it we're just keeping it just all the way real at this point. See, and it's just this whole thing, like all little tidbits of things I've been taking in today about, put the serpent on I just feel like there's this energy here again, where there might be a snare, but for me, not fearing that or them, I'm going to do what's on my heart at the time of day when I'm going to just do it right now, because this is just the energy that I'm having. And I just hope and pray. Well, I don't pray, but I would just hope that, hope and commune with Elohim that, this is what it is. And I did what I was supposed to do or not. See, because I think that what it is there. Okay. A wicked ruler is dangerous to the poor, as a roaring lion or an attacking bear. And, it's almost like, when you look at the term wicked, I would suggest you do that one in etymology as well. And that's all I'll say. Right. That's the best way to go ahead and start doing this, to just intrigue you guys to go ahead and, look up these words. Okay. Because then it depends on who is saying this. Because you have. Mm-hmm. Okay. A ruler with no understanding will oppress his people. Okay. Understanding. I like understanding. I don't like to stand under anything. That means you're really not comprehending. But again, that's what they're using. Okay. And again, I think that a lot of things too, when it comes to this, is I've had even just looking into mythology and certain things, I've noticed that I've run into a lot of images of blindfolded, just even having a lot of energy towards me, feeling like a blindfold is there, that certain things have been placed on or directed in my way, again, to block, make, or create blockages, right? I've been able to just see these things and discern what might be going on, actually. Because there's so-called demons and things like this, right? Right. So again, to identify those things in your life, and when you see them coming in and things like that, then hey, right? So again, what type of understanding, or understanding of what? But who hates corruption will have a long life. Okay. So again, so in this way, looking at this is making me think those that oppose things that are going on that are corrupt are going to live a long life. And right now we're dealing with a lot of censorship and stuff like that. But again, people are still speaking. A murderous, tormented conscience will drive him into the grave. Don't protect him. And then again, when we're talking about who hates corruption will have a long life. So again, like I said, the vilifying of certain energies and goddesses and things like that in this time. And it's being done. It's being done. I can feel this energy in the sense of it coming over even me. You could take it how you want to take it. I'm just being 100% real. When y'all come here, I hope that's what you know, and I hope that's what you see. I've been given a gift to read this word in a certain light. From the beginning of this channel, all the way till now, even when it comes to his story. And this is not a way, this is just, again, so if someone's coming on this video and they see this and it makes, again, because we're just here to make you think. I'm not here to tell you what it is or what it ain't. I'm simply sharing what it looks like to me with the eyes that I have been given and the experience that I have been given throughout this whole time. So, and I see these things, okay? So I'm not only just reading it to you. A lot of these things have been, there's a way of seeing in like a playbook almost. And some of the pieces may not be there, but as you go throughout your day and you're trying to get this message that Elohim is sending or source is sending, it's kind of like everything that you've come across throughout the day starts to stack up. And it starts to show and tell you the story. Right? And so this is what I mean. And even things from weeks ago or months ago. Everything just starts to pile up and then it's like one whole thing there for you. All right. So again, to hate corruption. Now, corruption would be me possibly speaking these words to you like this, but it's something that's within me. So think about, I think I put something up about like, Eve and Lilith on my channel. Just look at, no, on my Facebook or in the group, um, about looking at the differences and things like that, and how, and what happened, and using common sense, wisdom, knowledge, and discernment to see what we're really talking about there. Okay. All right. Yeah. So again, if you want to corrupt what? Okay. So it says a murderer's tormented consciousness will drive him into the grave. Okay. Don't protect him. Okay. The blameless will be rescued from harm, but the crooked will be suddenly destroyed. So again, even when we're talking about blameless, and we're talking about like, to read the word, most religious houses and things have you read the word a certain way. You read it there your whole life, never getting to understand in a certain way. Some of us today are coming out and speaking this in a different light, and you're shocked and awed and, oh, maybe that's this, or maybe that's witchcraft. Oh my goodness. But really, you already know, those of you that have eyes to see and ears to hear, is going to resonate with you automatically. Okay. So, yeah, so the crooked will be suddenly destroyed. So again, that may be us that are prophesying or speaking these things in sight, because we're getting these visions and dreams and things. And so we're speaking it to you, or we're actually living through some of these things telepathically, or we're having these things, or communing with angels, or communing with other energies. And so again, it depends on how high you are up, or what what I'm saying, where you are in your ascension, or even when it comes to, the first shall be the last, and the last, you know what I'm saying? So again, whatever place you've been placed in by Elohim, right? that's what we'll say. Okay. And it says, a hard worker has plenty of food, but so again, if this doesn't fit those who are in charge of this world, this will turn you into someone that will be a target then, right? So, which is why they're monitoring and watching some of you very much and very closely. Almost scary, almost to a sense, if you was a punk. I mean, I shouldn't have said that. But again, so in my eyes, I get these feelings, yes, sometimes, but I've learned to control them and say, you know what? It is what it is. And my daddy said this, what I'ma say. So let me say what he said. Because then I got to feel like some kind of way if I don't go there. See? So again, to fear man of this world, again, nah, I'm good. Okay. And a lot of things I've seen, again, so this whole like gang stalking, or this whole thing, is just actually really so real. And so like even this part right here, like I've been seeing a lot of things about fantasies. Oh, people are sometimes not seeing it right. They're seeing it in their own fantasies. But when you look at this world and you look at the way that idols are placed, and the idol is just, could be someone that is not the person. It doesn't have to be the cross or object, or it could be a person that's not the person that people want to put in the place of a person that has truly been called, and they'll put a different person. They'll smack whatever it is on that person and put them in the place. This is something that's that I'm adamant about speaking about, because I know that this is what's going on. I've seen it happen in society and so on. Now I can't tell you what places and what positions we're talking about, but this is what it all boils down to. Okay. Or rather, things don't work out, or if you know what I'm saying. Again, we don't, the works. It's just, it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. And if you've gone on this particular type of journey, you will see, you will know. But there's a light burning inside of me that, again, it's not no kind of cockiness. I'm just trying to share this with you, because I have just, again, this has been a journey here, right? And some things you don't even really want to speak about, because people, feel some kind of way about it sometimes, so I kind of just try to let y'all in a little bit. And I'm not saying I'm the only one, but there are some of us out here And so, I'm just saying, okay? So it says a hard worker has plenty of food, but a person who chases fantasies ends up in poverty. And I want to tell you that there has been a spirit over me. And I think maybe even I even spoke about it like in that video about like how I just started back up doing, starting to get back into my crafts and creating stuff and starting to get my shops and stuff up and running again. Because, first of all, my oldest daughters have gone. So the house is a lot quieter now. And I've been an at-home mom for a very long time. And so it's just like, just learning how to get back into the workplace, learning how to do these, just trying to get back serious about me and what I need to do, you know what I'm saying, to move forward and things like that. And so it's just like, this whole time that I've been going through these trials and tribulations here, there has been an energy saying, well, I feel sometimes I feel bad when I'm not in the word, but then I feel bad because the family needs something. And then I feel bad because this, and, it's kind of like even a sense of, like I said, when it comes to these dues or whatever, because this society that we're moving into, if we don't wake up and realize, I'm just wondering what it all boils down to. But I ain't going to speak on too much right now because I'm still looking into that. Right. It's just even making me think of like our whatever it is. I want to say our taxes, but I'm getting that whole energy. And so like, again, just know that even when we're talking, and I did these videos about soul ties and things like that, I have had that spirit, but some of that energy there, I think also was just messengers. It's communing with angels and other beings, and so to get your head out of the clouds almost, but almost my head has been in the clouds because it's almost a sense of, oh, people are not gonna like this. What? Like a close connection to God. Like they would just say back in the day, the higher the hair, the closer to God. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So even being in the heavens, like even if you read in Genesis and things like that about how, I think I put that video up. Okay. When we're talking about the heavens, we're talking about like a elevated place or a high up place. And again, when we think about the mind, like, so again, a lot of things were going on in that garden or before the garden, right? That were going on. Okay. I didn't realize it until now, but a lot of things that were going on in the minds of people. And that's why when it comes to things, people talking a lot about mental illness and stuff like this. And I'm watching and I'm seeing how they're trying to kind of like crucify people that have a way of seeing things, because they know that this time will come when Elohim will be connecting directly to some of us. And so they want to make it seem as though this, even when it comes to children, now they want to say children, COVID, something, depression, right? So when it comes to these things like this, hold on one second. I know they're going to call back. So when it comes... Okay. So when it comes to these particular things, I think that, again, this is an attack on those that are chosen in my eyes. And they'll try to put in like crucify, vilify. They're going to do it. And again, the sad thing is that many people have already fallen for it and turned their back on certain people that they should look to. So it says for positions or pay or other things or promises and things like that. And again, a hard worker has plenty of food. Okay. But the person that chases fantasy. So again, I think that 100% that there is a spirit of something leading me to some form of a fantasy again, and I guess I'm feeling like it was just like even a test, right? Or a trial, tribulations and trials, with all the stuff that was going on in my head, because again, I'm somebody that did spend a lot of time in my head. So again, like when we're talking about the chakras, or just even resonating and spreading that out, not just so much in your head, because then if you're always there, then something can be formed there. But again, when it starts to match up with the word and certain other things, then you might have yourself something different, and they're going to try to title it something different too, to try to denounce or whatnot. Okay. And that's true. So I was getting this feeling, but Elohim was like, that ain't what I put you here for. And your position, that's not what I put you here for. And I got something different for you. And so these words, and so even when I get distracted from the word for a couple of days, I feel uneasy. So this is what I have for you. So if I'm out there chasing a buck, see, and it's not just for, and that's what I'm saying. I'm starting to feel like it's not for everybody. So I'm not calling anybody out. But the way it resonates with me is that's what I'm here to do. And so I haven't had that worry, right? But the world wants me to be worried that I haven't put that time into business or something. See, they want to have me worried about that. Even though I do think that, we are supposed to be able to hold our own. If people are royal or regal, or even just, how people will call themselves kings and queens and things like that. I mean, there will be a certain something that I would think that you would be a way to carry yourself, or even a way to, like I said, be able to not have to be beggars. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, the trustworthy person will get a rich reward, but a person who wants quick riches will get into trouble. Showing partially is never good, yet some will do wrong for a mere piece of bread. Wow. Made me think about Jacob and Esau and him giving, well, that word stew in etymology is very interesting, but giving him some stew, which I think was just a whole crock. Or wronged information even. See, so a lot of these energies are tricky. So wronged information is what I feel like altogether we're really talking about. Something that wouldn't benefit him in the long run. So it says, yet some will do wrong for a mere piece of bread. Greedy people will try and get rich quick, but don't realize they're headed for poverty. In the end, people appreciate honest criticism far more than flattery. Yes. So again, I think somebody said that too one day. If these people that you're communing with, or these energies that you're dealing with, are not telling you that we are at some type of war or spiritual warfare, then they're not your friend. And I had to learn that, especially when it came to like soul ties and stuff like that. I had to learn that, to just be very discerning with that, So anyone who steals from his father and mother and says, what's wrong with that, is no better than a murderer. Okay. So again, and when I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about the mother of the living, or Eve, or heck, even though Lilith would have lost her space or her place, she would have been the first. So she would have been the mother of some people too. And again, so I'm just thinking, like, even in a sense of just like, yeah, we're not necessarily just only talking about your mama and your daddy. You know what I'm saying? We're also talking about children of certain entities, okay, or souls that, see, we won't even go that deep. Okay. So it says, let's see, in the end, people appreciate honest, criticism far more than flattery. Anyone who steals from his father and mother and says what's wrong with that is no better than a murderer. Greed causes fighting. Trusting the Lord leads to prosperity. Okay. So again, I kind of, that's where I kind of been at for the past couple of days. Like, okay, you got to trust in something, to a certain, but then again, the Lord, I'd be thinking whoever I'm, okay, myself and, right? To think that we may not be already connected with certain lords and stuff. And let's just look at it this way. Okay. We'll just say that trusting the Lord or Lordess leads to prosperity. Those who trust their own insight are foolish. Okay. So again, what is your own insight? When you read the Bible and you think you know what it's talking about, is that your insight? Because these are one of the ones I'm just be like, question it. Then it's time for discernment, common sense, certain knowledge, information applied, knowledge applied, and certain information that you've taken in. And some of us through experience. Okay. Because the fool card has been coming up too. And again, this may be the wrong way for whoever is looking on and think that they're going to try to bully people into saying something. When I see what I see and this information is coming directly from source for me, well, hey, that I'll have to, and that's what I'm saying. I do fear source in a sense. So that'll have to be something that I will not, and I'm not talking about no God of this world. I'm talking about the all. Okay. So it says, but anyone who walks in wisdom is safe. So again, wisdom is a woman, and I say wisdom is who I walk with. Wisdom is in me. Just like I am in the Father and he is in me, wisdom is in me. Very, very, very active. I resonate with that energy. So again, in that book in the Apocrypha, it does say that if the man that doesn't have wisdom, while it was calling her a woman, then they should go to God. If you don't have wisdom. So some of these energies and entities were communing with wisdom. So she would have been someone else that would have been communing with many angels and other entities as well. Right? So she would be wise and she would have to discern. That would be a lot of work to do. So I'm saying when you're, and I look at it even as like people, might have something to say about this, but a high priestess or in a sense, a empress in a way. Okay. And there's no DNA test or anything that can tell you that. You just know what you know. And I just am what I am. And that's just not no way. This is just me sharing my story because I feel like the way that religion has taught us has made us ashamed or made us feel like we should not look at ourselves in a certain light. Then you kind of might miss out on what the all has in store for you. Because we're just thinking we're just wretches and all these things like this. And so I can't, and that's what I'm just saying. So I think that some of these things, again, I read the word and discern and see. Now, a lot of people take the Bible word for word. I do not. Things have been taken out. Things have been placed in. Words have been changed and things. So that's why it takes more. It's going to take, and especially in these so-called end times or in these times, it's going to take more than you just reading the text. It's going to take you to be actually looking up definitions, and it's going to actually take you to be discerning and also listening and having eyes to see and ears to see, dreaming dreams, prophesying, and all of these things that are going to be bestowed upon the people at this time. So that's not really in your own sight, because if the Father is in you, if the Father is sitting on your throne, which might have something to do with your person or your vessel, then who is somebody to tell you? So walks in wisdom is safe because, again, wisdom was there from the beginning, possibly prior to. And she stretches out what? From that time until now. So again, just like when we're talking about the Ruach, was there. She may well be added to the Alpha and Omega. Whoever gives the poor will lack nothing, but those who close their eyes to poverty will be cursed. When the wicked take charge, people go into hiding. When the wicked meet disaster, the godly flourish. So again, that just almost sounds like a transfer in power to me. And certain positions are being placed. Certain people are put in the same certain positions, right? But like I've always had this energy or this spirit around that, it's almost like challenging to see how worthy, but almost also looking at it in that sense. As if it's, there's always energy that's going to want to make you think you're not enough. Oh, no, God, the all wouldn't choose you. Or look, you don't have this. Or look what you're doing here or this. But it's up to, at the end of the day, it's up to all. Again, that's why I always say, like, the most high self is connected to source. It's a lot deeper than we see it, because the church has failed us. And I'm not saying every single one of them, but again, it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and stop there, and then I'm going to come back and read the reward of Christ's followers, and we're going to go ahead and read the raising of Lazarus. And they're both pretty short, and I think I'm just going to breeze through them. We're not going to really do too much breaking down. I just really felt the need to break this down. This is just the way I do it here on this channel. If you guys like what you saw here or read, or you can, if it resonates with you, go ahead and leave a comment, rate, subscribe, or again, join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained, where we put information that's past, present, and future, or alternative information. I always mess up and say it that way. And again, so yeah, that's it. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care.